Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing my cash stuffing for the week 2 of January. So I'm just going to see what I've got left over first. So we have nothing in food shopping. We're under budget by about 25 pence, I think it was. So there's nothing left in there. Cats have still got £10 in there. Spending got spent. I didn't think I was going to spend it, but we actually end up going to the pictures. We get 2 free tickets for the View every month, so we end up going to see Marty Supreme, which was really good. So we got like popcorn and things like that. And then eating out's got nothing left. Household's got nothing, and then just in case it's still got the 10 in there. So I'm going to take that 10 out. And I'm going to take the 10 out of the cats as well, because they're going to go into other envelopes later on. So I'm just going to have a look at my change as well. So I have actually figured out what to do with my pound coins and things. So I'll go into that soon. So I've got a £2 coin, and then try not to show my bank card. So, and then just some change as well, which I'll do off camera. So we had £20 left, which I suppose isn't too bad. It's better than nothing. The food shop wasn't even a massive shop, so I might end up having to like adjust the budget for that. But yeah, so there's £20 there to put into envelopes later. And then I'm just going to count what I've got to stuff. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 300. So I've got £300 of stuff this week, which is a crazy amount. The shop's been really busy. I am actually closed right now to kind of work on orders and get up to date with that. So really grateful for that. I might have too many 20s though, so I think I know what I'm gonna do. So in my iris binder, in one of the 40s, I think in the 40 there's actually 4 10s, so I'm going to swap that out for 2 20s, just so I've got some more 10s. Sorry, that was a bit faffy, but it's just easier for later. So I'll put those there. And now I'm going to restuff for the week. So food shopping is going to get 80 again. So 20, 40, 60, 80. Cats are going to get 10 because again I've both bought their food, so they really don't need very much at the moment, but it's just in case of any littler things. So spending, I'm going to be doing my challenge, so it's 2 10s, 2 5s, but I'm going to roll a dice and see what I'm going to be saving and what I'm going to be able to spend. So that's a green, so that's a 5, and I think I might be brave and do another roll, which I'll regret. So that's a pink, which is 10, so that's not too bad. So the same as last week, £15 going in there, so that means I'll get £15 for spending. So I'll just do those quickly now. So most weeks if I get a 5, I probably will re-roll, unless I know that I'm doing something where I'm going to be wanting to spend my spending money, just so I can get this done a bit faster. So a green and then a pink. So this is the tin here. And I've been leaving the challenge on top of the tin so I know which one's which, but I'm probably going to have to write on it so that I don't get confused if they fall off. So there's £30 in there so far, which is really, really good after 3 rolls. So I'm really happy with that. So going back to my purse, and I'll try not to skip a category this week like I did last week. We've got Eating Out, which is going to get 20 this week. Household is going to get 10. Just in case is also going to get 10. So that's the envelope stuffed for the week there. And like I say, I might be reassessing the food shopping, but we'll just have to see. And giving a little bit more to eat now this week because found that it didn't stretch very far doing 10, I think it was. So yeah, 20 should be absolutely fine. So that's my purse done now. So before I start stuffing the other things, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to be doing with my change. So for my 2s and 1s, I have this bundle that saves £1,000. So I'm not thinking that I'm going to be able to do the £1,000 in coins, but I'm going to try and do the first 2 of it or even the first 3. So it's saving £1,000 but in really small amounts. So I thought this would be perfect for my change. So I've got, like I say, probably going to try and do these 2 and possibly this one as well, but I'm not sure yet. So for the first 2, it's £100 and £150, and the maximum on it is £3. So like I say, really good for 2s and 1s, and I'm going to be doing it in this tin here. So I'm going to be starting with the 100. Once that's complete, moving on to the 150, and then maybe opening the tin or moving on to 200, just depending on what I'm thinking at the time. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 and £9 go in there. So I'm just gonna get 10 and mark it off. So I think what I'll do is I'll do 3 3s. So that's £9 into there for now. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly I make progress on this, because sometimes I have barely any 1s or 2s and they've built up for a little bit when I couldn't decide what I was doing with them. So that's that done there. And next up, I've got my tin challenges. So the Santa Sundays, Tenner Tuesday, Fiver Friday. So first of all, Santa Sundays is getting 10. So that's the second one marked off there. So little and often, putting it away just to kind of take the stress out of Christmas. And then Fiver Friday and Tenner Tuesday are in the same one. So I'm just getting a 10 and a 5. Marking them off on the trackers. So I'm just going to keep doing them the same day every week with my cash stuffing, just so I know that I'm definitely putting it in there, not forgetting about it. So that's them there. So a decent amount in the tins already. So I'm just going to check what I've got left over. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 5, 10, 15. So fives are really bugging me how bent they are, but never mind. So I'm going to go into my iris binder, and I'm going to be trying to do this as much as I can, so hopefully every week if possible, probably until I move on to the bigger amounts. So I'm going to try and find another 20. So there's a 20 there. and I'll mark that off on there. So that's £80 in here so far, so not too bad. And this is going to save towards a holiday, hopefully. So, and then next up, I'm going into my IRA binder, and I'm putting £15 in here. So, got a 10 here. And a 5 here. So that's £45 in this binder now, so it's almost halfway, and then once it's complete I'll be putting it into my Iris 2K binder. So next up I'm going into my green binder here. So what I'm going to do is the £10 that was left in cats, I'm going to put that into the vets envelope to start this off. Get it in, there we go. So, and then the other 10 that was left in just in case, I'm going to be putting that into buffer, just because obviously just in case is like a mini buffer, so it makes sense to me that anything left over in there notes wise would go into here to build up like a proper buffer, which will be good. So that's all I'm putting in here for now, but I might come back to it. So next up I'm going into my occasions binder, and I'm putting £20 into wedding. I'm just going to swap those two. So there's now £40 in wedding. So I'm aiming to put £50 a month in here until we go. So pretty good progress because it's only the 7th and we've got £40 in there. So obviously any extra would be good, but yeah. And then birthdays, I'm probably not going to start for a little while because I've got my niece's birthday coming up, which I already have her present sorted out for. And then the rest of the birthdays in my family on for quite a while. So that's it for this binder. So I'm going to go into my binder. And I'm just going to go to shopping trip. And in there I'm going to put £20. So again, this is something I kind of want to build up before the wedding so that we can go and maybe get some outfits for the days before and things, and a little bit of makeup, which I'll probably split between shopping trip and hair and beauty. But yeah, so that's £20 into their day, so I think there's now £40 in shopping trip. And then next I do want to try and put some money into some challenges because I haven't really done them yet. So for this one I'm going to do the Nuke Man challenge. So I'm just going to get a dice. So roll the dice and where you land is a hit or a miss. So hit an icon and save £10, miss and save £5. Once you've collected all the items, you've won. So oh, I should have rolled 2 dice. So that is a 6 and a 2. So 6, 2. So, yeah, that's right. So that's a miss. So that's a 5. So I'll mark that off. And I think I'll do another roll actually. So, and that's a 6, 5. So 65, so that's an icon, so that means I'll be putting £15 in there. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, and that'll tell me if I am, because that's her challenge. This is from the Skin Brit, by the way. So I'll be putting £15 in here, but I could be wrong. So that's going in there. And then into my Flamingos challenge from the Queen Bee Makes, I'm just going to do a 10 to start this off. So do this one here. So this one is also towards holiday, so I should probably start giving this one more attention. And I'm just having a look if I'll do any more. So no, I think that's it for this binder. And then I'm gonna go back into my savings challenge binder. So I forgot about the 50 pences. So what I'm going to be doing with the 50 pences is just this little challenge here. So it saves £20, and every time I do that, I'm going to take it back to the bank and use it to build up a little bit of like an emergency and things, which is also going to be what the pound coins and things are for once I'm done with those. So I do actually have quite a lot of 50 pences this time round. So got 50 pence, a pound, £2, £3 and £4. So a really good amount going in there already. And I'll just mark that off. So £1, £2, £3 and £4. So this is just a nice little one. Saves £20, but it all adds up. And then I'm going to go with my Smiley Saver one and add £10 into here. Use purple for this one. I felt a bit aggressive scribbling out the smiley face, but yeah, so that's £10 added in this one to start that. And then I'm just trying to work out where to put the last 5. So can't go in any of these challenges, so I think I'll go back into my Ira binder and do the last 5. I think it's the last 5. Yeah, last 5. So I'll put that in here. So obviously I'm wanting to build this up quickly, so it just makes sense to do that. So 5. That's £50 in there, so we are actually halfway, which is really nice. And obviously it's going towards a bigger goal, so once I'm done with it I will be cleaning it off and doing it again. But I'm really happy with the progress that I've made for this. And apart from my change that I'll be doing off camera, that's all of the money stuffed. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.